Are you struggling with communication in your relationship? Does it feel like every time you're together, you have nothing to say? Where you used to spend hours just talking about each other, about anything, and now it just feels like conversations go dry really quickly. If so, we have some solutions for you and we want to talk about it today. I'm Ron, and this is I Love Us. This beautiful woman next to me is my lovely wife, Helen. Hi, Helen.
Hi.
So today I want to talk about, hey, what happens, right? It seems like there was a time in your relationship where there was a big curiosity about each other, where you could just, spend time with each other and just really talk about nothing, but learn so much about each other and feel so connected. And then all of a sudden, what happens? It's like, I don't look forward to talking to my partner like I used to. It's like your partner says, hey, how was your day? And you're like, yeah, it's fine. Anything interesting happen? Nope. And you say, boy, when did we become roommates? Well, there's 3 issues that bring this up, and I want to address all 3 and what we can do about them, right? So, sweetheart, do you remember a time when we would talk all the time?
I do. Early on, even when we were dating, even before we had kids, we used to think about what our goals were, what did we want to do, where we wanted to live, and where we wanted to travel, all those things.
Yeah, we had a deep curiosity about each other that we spent all the time just it's like we were insatiable. We just couldn't learn enough about each other. And then, like a lot of couples, we have kids, life just gets busy. We have kids, we might have aging parents or ill parents, we might have careers that are busy and demanding, and then after a while, it seems like the conversation is no longer a conversation, it's just all transactional. It's like, hey, what time are you picking up the kids or dropping them off? Or what time is the soccer game or the basketball game? Or hey, what's for dinner, right? It's like we aren't talking about kind of heartfelt things, like what's going on in your world. And so we become a little distant. And here's the thing, we don't notice it at first. Right? We don't have this gauge that says, uh-oh, it's a problem, right? It just happens gradually, right? Think about, we always talk about that lobster in a pot, right? We put that lobster in a pot and we start to turn it on, and sooner or later, the lobster doesn't know that he's cooked. Well, that's what happens in relationships when life gets really busy. And one of the first things to go are those connection conversations. So I want to give you 3 tips today. I want to share from our lives 3 things that we've done to make sure that these don't continue to happen, that we keep that connection going on and on. And one of the first things we like to do is to have small connection points where we check in, right? When the kids aren't around, when no one's around, but it's just her and I, where we can check in with each other and say, hey, really, how are you doing? What's going on in your world? And these things, they don't have to be these big events like on dinner, right, or date night. They can happen on a daily basis, right? It can be a cup of coffee in the morning, right? We love a cup of coffee in the morning where we just sit back and we enjoy each other and check in and say, hey, how was your sleep? But more than how was your sleep, like, hey, did you have any dreams? And really having that curiosity about the dreams, right? And say, hey, what was going on? I think I was sharing with you this week. Right, I had a dream about when I was in college and I was flunking out and I just kept having the same dream over and over again. I was in college and I was flunking out. I don't know if it has any meaning or anything, but anyway, just really asking questions of curiosity. But before you get to that, create small rituals that you can connect with your partner. Right. And so besides our coffee in the morning, I think we after work, what?
I check in at lunch, or I send you a text, or,
We check in at dinner time and we have really good conversations, right? So the first thing is, do small things on a consistent basis. I call it small things often. Check in with your partner on a regular basis so that you don't have to have this big 5-hour dinner date to connect. If you're connecting with them, 2 or 3 times a day and in person ideally, but yeah, you can substitute a call. I think my wife caught me the other day, and she normally texts, but when she calls me, well, I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity. I just start to smile a lot, right? And so that really made me happy when she just does something a little bit extra that checks in. That makes me really feel cared about. So thank you for doing that, sweetheart. And so another thing we want to do to ensure that we stay consistent in our communication is not to avoid tough conversations, but not to bring up the tough conversations or the third rail topics, at bad times, right? Sometimes we have a poor habit of just kind of talking about things at the wrong time, right? So we all have some hot topic issues, right? So things like maybe finances or what might be a hot topic issue for us here.
How you manage your children.
Yeah, how you manage your children, right? Like how do you manage them? So those things are a hot topic, right? So if you're going out on your date night or you're going on vacation, right? And say you're on the plane going on vacation and you're checking your bank account and you look over at your wife and say, hey, listen, I want to talk about our finances, right?
It's probably not a good time to do that when you're on vacation.
Yeah, who wants to talk about that, right? Well, a lot of us might want to, but it's just not the opportunity. If you know the third rail issues in your relationship, that just don't bring them up at that time, right? But I'm going to tell you the thing that you need to do. What you do want to do is name the issue, ideally not in that situation, right? But name the issue and then shelve it to discuss it at a more opportune time, right? So in that case, let's say a couple of days before we go on vacation, I might say, hey, sweetheart, listen, I'm really feeling anxious about our finances. I would love if we could sit down and talk about the budget maybe after our vacation.
Absolutely, because
Timing is everything, right? But what I've done is I signaled to her that this is an important topic to me, but you know what? It's bad timing, right? Timing matters. And you see how I told her that too? I didn't say, hey, you don't know how to manage money or anything like that. I wasn't critical of her. I just talked about how that issue made me feel. I felt a little anxious about our finances, so I want to talk about it later, right? And she is just gorgeous in how she just handled that with me, right? So that's one way to do it is like label the issue and then have a date where you can talk about it, right? And then even when you do that, we gotta work maybe on the skill sets on how to talk about difficult issues. And that's another conversation. That'll be another entire episode, right? But today on I Love Us, I do wanna talk about a third thing that you can do, right? To have better communication, what we call emotionally connecting conversation, right? Or ECC. Oh, I just invented that. That's cool, ECC. So here's how to get the ECC, right? So you want to do this. You want to ask more of what we call open-ended questions, right? So instead of asking the performative, hey, so how was your day, right? Which can be just, fine, right? An open-ended question, ask that requires something more than just yes or no, or okay or fine, right? So that might look like, hey,
what was the best part of your day, right?
yeah, what was the best part of my day? There you go, girl, right? So my baby say, hey, what was the best part of my day, right? I'm gonna be thinking about that, right? But she knows me. My best part of my day is waking up next to her. So anyway, the best part of my day, right? But if I think about it, she probably means the best part of my day, outside of home, right? So I might share, you know what? I had a client, a couple that decided not to get a divorce, and hearing them recommitting to their relationship, that really was the best part of my day, something like that, right? So it really digs a little bit deeper, and she might even say, hey, but how did that make you feel? Hey, I felt joy, I'm really living in my purpose, and that was really exciting to me. You see how that connected, and maybe she shares in that excitement, and she might say, well, we need to celebrate, right? So anyway, those type of conversations, they require open-ended questions to really connect on an emotional basis, right? So I do want to talk about in another episode how to do this a bit more specifically, from how to create those rituals of connection, how to create that ECC, or emotionally connecting communication, right? But for now, remember these two things, right? first have small, consistent check-in times with your partner, right? And then after that, right, ask open-ended questions. And then avoid the third rail topics, right? Label it and schedule it, but don't talk about it at inopportune times, right? So if you can do this, I can assure you that, you know what, your relationship is gonna become a bit more connecting. So here's the thing, what I'd like you to do is, if you found this beneficial, I want you to like and subscribe, right? And then I want you to do this for homework. Think of one open-ended question and leave it in the comments, and then practice it on with your partner, and then let me know, how did that go? All right? So what I do want to share with you, one important thing is that our channel here is not therapy. This is for educational purposes. This is not therapy. I'm not conducting therapy. If your relationship needs support, or if you need support, please seek a licensed therapist, okay? So in the meantime, I just got to end with this. I haven't told her today, but maybe 8 times how much I love her. So I want to look at her and say, sweetheart, I love you, Helen.
I love you too.
And guess what?
I love
us. All right, so we'll see you next time on I Love Us. Until then, take care.